welcome to another episode of the 1 Year No Beer podcast. Today, I'm so excited to be joined by one of our wonderful OYNB members who happened to be just flittering through Mallorca and pinged me. Actually, no, he popped it into the community. I saw and I said, hey, why don't we catch up? Amazing to meet him. What a wonderful guy. But today I'm going to introduce to Andrew. Some of you in the community will know him. And Andrew gets to play with planes. So I'm just very jealous of that, full stop. But what an amazing journey, what an amazing story, and always love connecting with OYNB members. So let's go meet Andrew. Welcome to another episode of the 1 Year No Beer podcast. I'm Rory Fairbairns, and today I'm joined by one of our fantastic 1 Year No Beer members. This is the first time I've done one in the office here in Mallorca.
Wow, fantastic.
Thank you for being the inaugural guest.
It's quite warm.
So today I'm joined by Andrew Dunn.
Doan. It's like bucket and bouquet.
Yeah, Andrew Dunn, who has been a 1 Year No Beer member for 3.5 years, 4 years.
Something like that.
He has the best job in the world, guys. One of the best jobs in the world. Welcome to the show.
Thank you.
Give us a bit of background to you in your own words. Hit me.
Okay. I think as many people that have been in the military, I spent 17 years in the Royal Air Force, and it's got a culture of work hard, play hard, and the play hard element usually has alcohol involved.
Totally.
And it's it's habitual. It's the reward for working hard and going on a deployment or whatever is to get back and party, and it usually involves alcohol. And 17 years of that, it becomes habitual. And I found that when I left the Air Force 10 years ago, I was coming home from work and I love to cook, so I'd fire up the stove, and I'd be cooking dinner for the family and cracking open a bottle of wine. And then over the course of however long it was, a couple of years, a bottle of wine wasn't enough, so you have a beer, then a bottle of wine, or a bottle of wine, then a beer, and then maybe whiskey, whatever it was, just to take the edge off.
Yeah.
And it got slowly, you get desensitized to it. And I was finding, and it got to a stage where I thought, right, okay, this isn't healthy. This isn't the kind of example that I want to be setting to my son. So something had to change. And I tried stopping myself. Didn't work. So many times, I'll cut down and I'll not drink it during the week, or I'll not have spirits, or I'll not have this, or you do all those sorts of different medley of trying to convince yourself that you're in control of it, and none of it works. So I found that I was browsing Facebook one day, and
Saw this face?
saw that face just there,
And tried to get rid of it quickly.
and it wouldn't let me. So I signed up for 365.
Boom.
No messing about.
All in. Plain sailing straight away?
No, it was okay. I had a couple of resets, but with that sort of end goal of 365, I found it, and the ability that you can tell your family and friends, I'm taking a year off. I'm on a challenge. I've joined this group and we're doing it for a year, and loads of other people doing it, and it almost makes it an excuse for you taking the time off. But then when you're approaching that 1 year, everybody's getting very excited about going out drinking with you again, because you'll be back part of the fold.
Yeah.
So that's exactly what happened. I allowed myself to start drinking again, and within 2-3 months, I was back into some, bad old habits, and I was there for well over a year, and needed to cut free.
Yeah, that's so common, people to do a whole year and then end up going 2 to 3 months pretty much back to where you were before.
Yeah.
And this is what we're seeing, abstinence does not equal control. Okay, so let's talk about the changes you made when you sort of kick-started this challenge. So you said it took you some time to get to discover it. jumped into the full 365, so you must have been like, I'm really ready for change. That's a big decision to make. Do you involve family and friend? Do you tell anyone? I mean,
Nope.
what did your wife think?
I just told her. I'd signed up, and when she got home from work, I said, right, that's it. I've signed up for 365 off the source. And she's utterly positive in everything. So she was a real help with it all. And as I say, I think it took a few false starts before I got going. But then I managed the full 365.
Amazing.
Which was great. It was an achievement. I don't think I achieved everything that I'd hoped, because I think, as quite a few people do, they replace booze with cake and chocolate and other stuff.
Porn, work, gambling, social media, the Facebook group.
Yes. Yeah. So it's I don't think I lost any weight whatsoever. Even though I was running and such like, it didn't really have that much of an effect. After the 365, we friends and family were ever so keen to get me drinking again, because it makes them feel a little bit better about their drinking habits.
Yep.
And so I was back in the fold of being the habitual drinker. So
really? How quickly?
I think it was. I think it within 2 to 3 months. I think I was back in the same.
Back in daily drinking.
Yeah. And
year. I'm sorry.
No.
And the sorry is not just to you, but to everyone, because that's not what we want for people, right? And so this taking a year off alcohol, but I think the reality is that there's only so much you can get from an email, a social media group, and a video.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm not judging you here, right? When you read a book, how much do you take in of that book? Is it 1%? Is it 10 at max for a really good book?
Yeah.
So, it's the same. These courses are the same. So the information is there, like a lot of the information is in there, but it's not really being applied. I mean, we always say this all the time. If it was just about reading books, we'd all have 6 packs and be billionaires, right? Because it's not just about the information. And so this is where, I see from so many people, just like you, Andrew, and it was even me, right? I did a year off and then went out for a drink, and it ended up being 40. I was throwing up in the toilet the next day. And, this is when I realized abstinence does not equal control.
No.
Right? That is not what gets you there. So what did you, 2 to 3 months before you were back there daily drinking, what happened next?
Well, and that was the status quo for probably another year. Easily a year, I think, until I got to the stage again where I thought, right, okay, this is, and I think this time I was thinking, well, I can do it before I can do it again. It's easy, but I found it harder.
Yeah,
second time around, I found it harder, and it was too easy to make the excuses. Yeah, but I can do it, so I'll do it tomorrow. and it was too easy to put it off to another day.
Yeah. Before you go on from that one, I want to touch in some thoughts into there. So there's a few things that go on here, right? Think about the brain, right? And the energy that you bring into signing up something new for the first time at 365. New, exciting, opening up the present wrapper and be like, woohoo! What's it like when you get something used, right? You know what I mean? Or you're just like, I've done this before. I've seen these emails before. And so psychologically, it's a different place. And I think one of the biggest mistakes often people make is that they think that, I'm just going to keep going and trying to do the same thing again. And that is actually the definition of madness, right? Doing the same thing over and over, but expecting a different result. It's not about trying to apply more willpower. I say this so often. It's about more accountability, more connection, more education, more support. And those are the 4 things that will enable you to get back into it again. So take me through the next steps.
So after I think about the 100th day one, I thought, okay, I'm going to need to seek some more support. And I can't remember what the setup was called, but there was a monthly subscription to get on the daily sort of group
Challenge Plus.
So
Well done. That's the first step.
So that was the first step. But what I was finding was that I needed more than that. It was great to hear other people's experiences, and listening to other people and talking what's going on and what your thought processes are to other people was absolutely fantastic. But I think I was almost jealous of sharing the time of the coach with somebody else.
Exactly.
I thought, okay, so maybe I need more. And that's where I signed up to 12 coaching sessions, and you nominated Stuart, your brother.
I nominated him.
Well,
What a surprise. No,
I don't know how it works, but basically I got an email from Stuart saying, I'm your coach.
Brilliant.
So, and then we started on reasonably regular coaching sessions.
Yep.
I was still drinking initially whilst that was going on.
Yep.
And it was going through the workbooks, talking through some of the activities, some of the really digging deep into the why we're drinking, and also I think one of the most important exercises was the fork in the road. Sort of in 5 years' time, or however many years' time it was, can't remember now. If you keep on drinking, what's life going to look like? And in 5 years, with you not drinking, what's life going to look like?
Yep.
And that was quite a powerful exercise.
Yep.
And Stuart would tell you that throughout our sessions there were tears.
Yeah.
It was hard work.
Yeah.
I mean, it doesn't come easy, and you've got to face some very, very big realities. And when you start thinking about your whys, my biggest why was my 15-year-old son.
Yeah.
And the fact that I didn't want him to normalise, or I didn't want to normalise the alcohol intake for him. I'd prefer, to be fair, he just drinks water. He doesn't even drink fizzy pop. So he's unlikely to want to go down the alcohol route. But, if I'm sat there cracking open a bottle of wine at 5:30, 6 o'clock in the evening, and he sees that as perfectly normal behaviour, it's just unfair.
Yeah.
So, and that's where I got to.
Good. That's a powerful why. Yeah. What do you think the impact of working with Stuart was?
It's funny because you do all the talking. I do all the talking. When you're with your coach, there's a lot of listening going on and just directing your own thoughts and sort of weaving that sort of magical coach way. I think that's probably a very common perception, and certainly one that I had. Coach, you need a coach. And then once you've been coached, you realise that pretty much everybody needs a coach.
Everyone needs a coach.
But it's just...
You can be like me and have 3 coaches.
Because I think once we'd got to a stage, and I think it was, of the 12 sessions, it was probably 6 or 7 in, it had clicked. And that's where actually everything was making sense. I think it was something like the 3rd of January. We'd just come back from Madeira, spending New Year in Madeira, and on the way home, I said to Amanda, right, that's it, no more. It stops now. And being the awesome wife that she is, she said, yeah, I'll do it with you. So tomorrow is 200 days.
Boom.
It's and it's brilliant, and I've absolutely no desire to drink at all, and it's brilliant. And so actually we ended up getting into some other areas of personal improvement and habit forming. Thought, right, okay, I've cracked this alcohol habit. I've absolutely no desire whatsoever. What other habits do I want to integrate into my life, and how could Stuart help? So that's what we worked on for the rest of the sessions, which was fantastic.
That's what it's all about.
Yeah.
Life.
Yeah.
It's all the life stuff.
Even so much so that I'd asked Stuart about coaching, and he said that you'd given him the task of researching all the different coaching organisations out there early on.
For you to be a coach.
For me to become a coach.
Cool.
And I have signed up to the coaching academy. So there we go.
That's so cool. That's so cool. Well, whatever. I mean, that road will only make you a better human anyway.
Exactly.
It'll give you some amazing tools to help people, help your son even more. So lead by example in a great way. So yeah, I mean, I think we're probably heading that way, right? AI is going to take all our jobs, and we're all going to be coaches.
Terrifying. It was terrifying. There's a great podcast. The Stephen Bartlett. The
Mo Gaudat.
Yeah, Mo Gaudat. It's
a big warning. It's a
Yeah.
big warning.
Yeah.
I'm excited. But I did watch a Netflix documentary about militarization of AI, and I saw. I mean, let's not even go there.
No.
But it was the things that were being built and done. I mean, with a Mac computer, this is a Center for Diseases, and normally they use AI to try and find molecules for healing. And I'm like, well, what does it look like to turn it around the other way? Well, like, all we need to do is literally change it from a 0 to a 1. So they changed it from 0 to 1, went away, came back, and following morning, AI had created 40,000 different killer molecules that we could created to kill humans. And it was like, then they flagged it to the government and were like, we did this with a Mac, right? You know, we need to do something about this.
Yeah,
anyway, there's a lot of fearing about it out there. Yeah. Let's just end it on a positive note, because I'm a glass half full guy. I think it's really exciting for humanity is the truth about AI and the future of technology. And I think, one of the things is that all of that future thinking and fear, fear is unprecedented in society. Stress is unprecedented in society. And so is addiction. This is where it is, and what we have to do is bring our minds back into today, where we are, and just stay in not be always in the now, and we can be conscious of the dangers, but focus on the positives.
Yep.
Sorry, a little sidestep there. So you talk. What does it look like for the future for you? What's ongoing?
Future of I want to get fit, I think, is my next focus. I'd mentioned that I was intrigued by, I think you'd put a post up about the Carnival Diet. I know it's not popular for everybody, but
it's a great diet.
It's something I want to...
It's quite simple. Is it steak? No. Don't eat it. And I'm such a simple guy. So it's very simple. You did just witness me microwave two burgers.
Yep.
And chow them down with nothing else.
I know.
So
it's dedication.
Dedication.
I do realise that I'm probably going to have to cut out my favourite alcohol-free Guinness Zero. Is going to have to come out of the diet. So,
well, how much of it are you having?
Well, I probably, we probably have a couple of cans a night. My wife likes it as well, so. It's
good to calm down all of those things. That's the next journey.
It is,
because you don't need it.
No.
And I think that a couple of cans a night of Guinness, that's on the high level. It's costing you. So getting it down to where you've disassociated,
spend that on steak.
Well, still the question is what is the seeking?
Yeah.
Right. Because the seeking is, okay, well, this is part of our relaxation routine.
Yeah.
Right. So if it's part of our relaxation, well, what relaxation routine do you need? But also there's another really interesting thing here, and that is, why do you need to get relaxed to the end of the day anyway? Now, I know we live in today's world, right? And there's a lot of stress and there's things about that. There's things we can do during the day to mitigate that desire to need to take the edge off at the end of the evening. This is all the stuff that we sort of teach people in complete control. Because if somebody wants to be able to get control of their relationship with alcohol, actually one of the fundamental things we teach people is that ultimately the math is simple. A stressed out central nervous system, which does not get any recovery during the day, will always require numbing in the evening. And so when you understand that math and you see it in data, which we use some technology to do that, then it's very clear for people, well, hang on a minute, it's a foregone conclusion that if it's not Guinness Zero or alcohol, it's going to be Netflix, or it's going to be cake, or it's going to be something else.
Yeah.
Because I haven't given myself that recovery I need during the day. So that is something to monitor. Let's pause just for a brief moment. I just want to share with you some of the heartfelt feedback from our incredible Complete Control community members. Listen to this.
I don't know how I signed up. I think I just got an ad on Instagram and just got a whim, just hit the button and did a call and then signed up and didn't really consciously think much about it. And then after that, I was like, what did I just sign up for? Wait a second here. Like, far exceeded my expectations. I'm usually extremely skeptical, so I don't know how I even signed up in the first place, but whatever it was. So it's just amazing how, like, the transformation that I've seen, and even the drinking part is just kind of it was the Achilles heel, but it's kind of just the superficial problem. And it's like, once I kind of clear that up, there's so much more possibility. And the exploration discussions with Gary, with Candice have just been so powerful, and they both kind of focus on a different area. And then with Glenn kind of looking at my data, and with my cohorts or classmates, or, it's just been everything has just been so powerful and kind of supportive of, completing the whole picture of how I do this. So just really grateful and yeah. And also just feel more grateful, and not only just for all of you, but just in life in general. It's just a little bit more clarity and peace and calm and so forth. So
I am incredibly grateful for this entire program, for everybody on this call, and everything that we were able to experience. I think that it delivered more than I expected. Honestly, I like I've said before, I've done a couple of challenges and different things. And I think that this, beyond examining my relationship with alcohol and making, I think, pretty good strides in staying alcohol free. I think it taught me a ton about myself and how to examine my habits and my thoughts and those kind of patterns and ways to approach the things that worried me the most in this experience have just been invaluable. I think I'm leaving feeling stronger in general, more self-aware in general, and just really more anchored in who I want to be and what my values are, and how I can, take better steps to achieve those. So it's been fantastic for me. And then again, our team, I really appreciate all the feedback and support from every single person on this call, but my cohort as well. It's been great.
So I love everybody that I've met here. I have loved the program. I am not an emotional person like this, but this has changed my life. It has given me a life. And there's other things I need to do too. But I don't have to do it with alcohol anymore. So thank you.
It's been an amazing journey, and I appreciate the professionalism. Whenever I feel the stress, there's something that I can go back to everybody, and the sharing from everybody, and the professionalism of the program. So I loved it, and I've grown a lot. So
Woohoo!
and kisses.
One word is transformational. That's a word that's been bandied about for decades, but in this, it is absolutely accurate. If I was to use one word, this was a great investment. It's not self-help, it's self-realization. It's super powerful, but it exceeded my expectations. Or maybe it was Sharon who said that. Or maybe I'm exceeding my expectations, and I like that.
I mean, the program has been I'm hugely grateful for the program. I think the journey for myself has been amazing. I mean, I remember telling, I don't know if it was Candice or Gary, the first 3 or 4 weeks of the program, I was like, I can't stop thinking about not drinking. It's in my head. Every day I'm thinking about not drinking. And it's like now I'm not even thinking about it. It's just like my life has sort of stepped on. I'm excited about the future. Things are looking good.
I just love sharing the things people are saying about our Complete Control program. Okay, let's get back into the episode. And also, you've got the Apple Watch.
I have. Good.
Because I was going to say, if exercise is the next thing, start with awareness and tracking.
Yeah.
Right.
I'm well at the moment. We've joined a gym locally, and I'm trying to do about 2 miles a week swimming. Whilst on holiday, I've been doing over half a mile a day, so it's great. I love the swimming. It's very low impact.
Low impact.
Running, just having run 2 London marathons, it was just painful.
Yeah. Well, if you like Diary of a CEO, then listen to What's His Chops, who came out and said it's nothing about cardio, right? The way you lose weight is strength,
Right.
so you need to build some muscle, and for that, and also, you know, the lady, I can't remember her name, but she said, like, the science is showing us now that we literally have a pharmacy inside our muscles, right? A pharmacy of incredible chemicals for your brain, positive, your body, generation, longevity, health, heart, all of those things. But it is only released when you either break those fibers or when you stretch them. Right? So this is why yoga, Pilates, those things like that, but also strength work. So what I've done now is just put a pull-up bar in one room, and I'm just trying to build up my sequences of pull-ups. That's it. As long as I'm breaking those there, I'm doing some decent work.
Wow.
On top of that with Hyros and CrossFit and things. But yeah, anyway,
Cool.
Some recommendation there to look at the strength work. There's a couple of good podcasts on Diary of a CEO about that. Amazing. Well, I mean, thank you so much for being a part of OYNB. I'm sure we can support you if you were interested in more coaching around the next part of the journey with your exercise and habits and all those kind of things. But and thanks for coming to share your story. I guess one last thing to think of: what would you say to somebody who's currently, you know, resetting or getting stuck in that loop? Like,
I certainly got a huge benefit out of seeking a little bit more help, whether it's through the Challenge Plus or I eventually went for 12 sessions of coaching, and that I think I needed to be guided through finding out what the real purpose of me giving up was, and what it really meant to give up, and who it was going to benefit, and that sort of thing. So having a coach to guide me through that was hugely beneficial.
it just shortcuts the learning.
Yeah,
It shortcuts the pain.
yeah, and
It's a painful cycle, right?
and yeah.
I mean, you're like resetting. When people say a resetting or a serial reset, I think, God, how much pain is involved in
that I didn't want to be getting to that day 10 or day 20 or day 30 and throwing it away. I wanted to be in a position where once I was really ready to go for it, I was off.
Yeah.
And that really has happened. You know, I've got absolutely no desire for it anymore.
Anything final you'd like to add or say?
I'd just like to say thank you for the 1 Year No Beer community, because when you post on Facebook and people are looking out for each other, I think it's absolutely fantastic. There's so much great support there, and it is great to be each other's cheerleader.
Yeah.
But sometimes that's not enough, and if you really are doing that serial resetting, then you'll save money in the long run.
Yeah, exactly. Wow, yeah, 100%. Amazing. Thanks for coming on the show, and
Thank you,
you can get back to your holiday.
Thank you.